I've had this channel for a while. It was an accident how it started, but its intention is to allow our family to follow our journey through living in Vietnam, leaving the United States, and staying in touch, because it's challenging when you live in a completely different time zone. It's night there, it's morning here. It's very hard to communicate, and it's hard to send big files over email or what have you, and so YouTube has been a wonderful way for us to stay. What is it? Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. It's hot and humid here. There's not a lot of air conditioning in this house. A lot of fans. Just gotta keep the windows open all the time. Which means there's constant cleaning that needs to be done. I could hire help, but to be quite honest, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of the cleaning standards that Vietnamese cleaners have. It was nice in the apartment. It was tiny. They made our beds for us, but they all had fresh linens, and so they just exchanged them. I'm not exactly sure what they did when they cleaned. It was helpful. It was very helpful, but considering I owned my own cleaning business back home, it's rather disappointing. So I bought a vacuum instead, and it's healthy. I used to clean houses this size, multiple houses like this a day. I can clean this house and keep it clean. I have nothing else going on. I don't know what word you want to use. I'm retired. I'm an expat. I'm unemployed. I don't know. But I live in Vietnam with no real means of making money because John and I did so well investing early on that when our lives got turned upside down at the beginning of 2025, literally midnight of the new year, the rug got yanked out from underneath us, and now here we are in Vietnam, and in a couple months we'll have lived here for 1 full year, and it's kind of crazy. But throughout my whole life, I have struggled with my mental health. Always experiencing such extreme depression and extreme anxiety, extreme insomnia. And when you have one of those, it affects the other. And then when you have all those, it's hard to eat. You don't eat enough, or your body's tired. You're not getting rest at night. It aggravates all the depression, and it aggravates all the anxiety. And when I tried talking to AI about a script for a future video, and explained how I'm doing really well right now due to my own reflection and choices of choosing to live every life to the fullest, so that way I can be in control of my mental health. I have all of the tools. I just need to put them into play. But AI was like, you should probably seek therapy. And I was like, thank you. I've done that already. I have worked very hard to overcome as much as I can. And I have many tools in my tool belt. I spent years deep diving myself, deep diving into stoicism, deep diving into self-help books, deep diving into anything that I could possibly get my hands on. And I know what I need to do. I just haven't been doing it. When we moved into this house, it was right after all of our kids came to visit after they graduated high school. Well, Tiffany had already graduated high school, but she came as well. So it was for Wyatt and his girlfriend's Victoria's graduation. And they came, and it was lovely. And then they left. And Wyatt went and boot camp to be a Marine. And I fell back into a pretty hard depression, and I felt very lost, very confused, and very sad. My hormones are also a mess since having cervical cancer and going through early menopause, learning how to fluctuate, learning how to live with those weird fluctuations and the hormones I need and the balancing. It's all very challenging. But John and I were having coffee, and I was getting irritated about something, about something that somebody else was doing back home in America. There's something I can do about it. And he reminded me about something that I taught him. And he said, you're the one who taught me that. You have no control over the matter, so you only need to control what you have the ability to control, and that is myself. And so for the last 10 days, I have truly been trying to make a purposeful change that will last. I'm tired of falling into depression. I'm tired of being anxious. I'm tired of not sleeping. I'm tired of my brain always messing with me, allowing my ego to overcome my life. And I don't want to. And so I stumbled across this wonderful YouTube video of this really cool guy sitting out in the woods, and he just explained how everything feels off in the world right now. And I agree. It's a harder time than most in the past, with all of the technology and information and the doom scrolling and the lack of living and being a whole, being productive, being creative, being disconnected from all the technology. It's not good for us, as I think we can all agree. It's too much. Too much of a good thing. I don't think it's a great thing. I do appreciate a lot of it, but it's not the essence of too much of a good thing. It's too much of it at all. And I don't think any of us are happy when we spend all day doom scrolling and, well, there goes the day. But he was very inspirational. But he was talking about a video that he watched about having 3 ingredients to make your day whole. And I contemplated that for a couple of days before I chose mine. And I was talking to John about it. And my body needs to move. I get depressed, it's hot and humid here. And so what do? You relax, right? You lay down, you're just chilling. But it's not good for you. Me, at least, it's not good for me. It's very bad. It's bad for my body, it's bad for my mobility, it's bad for my brain. Going through the intense hormone eradication of my cancer journey was awful. My doctors did not take care of me. They did not tend to me. They were not watching or monitoring my hormones. I had lost all of my hormones and was going through menopause from November to February, and nobody knew what was going on. It was actually one of John's friends who said, "Hey, I think it's Cassie's hormones." And then everything started to change. But my body went through years of menopause within 6 weeks. And it was very, very hard on my body. And it's been very hard to recover from not only the mental trauma that the doctors caused me, the procedures caused me, but that was very, very challenging on my body. When I came to Vietnam, I went to the doctor, check on my cancer, make sure everything's still doing well. And the doctor sat there and she was crying. She started tearing up when I told her what had happened to me. and she said that was wrong. It was very wrong what they had did to me, and I agree. It was very traumatizing, but that's another story for, I don't know, maybe never, I don't know, but it's just something that happened to me. But I've already struggled with all of these things, and then you compound it, and then my bones feel weak, my muscles feel weak, I have no energy, I'm anxious, I'm depressed, I'm restlessness, like I can't sleep. I've gone through menopause, I feel like I can barely walk up a flight of stairs. I feel like I'm constantly dying on the inside, mentally and physically. But I can change that. And so I started doing the things that I know I needed to do. So I started studying my stoicism again. And memento mori, be present, be grateful. This life is temporary, and it is a gift. And I saw this comedian, and she did an interview. She plays this game with herself. If all of this is a simulation, saying we're like the Sims, and she was in control of her Sims character, what would she want that character to be doing right now? She would choose for that character to get up and do the dishes. She would choose for that character to get up and do the guitar lesson. She would choose for that character to get up and do the hard things. Because the hard things are what we're here for. And the hard things aren't hard if you look at them in the light of what they actually are. And it's our purpose to be here, to tend to our families, to tend to ourselves, to tend to our home, to tend to the nature, to tend to the earth. Collectively, look out for each other. So I'm on this path of, I wouldn't call it self-discovery. I'm not sure what I would call it. I'm tired of being depressed. I'm tired of being anxious. I have one person in my life who's always been there for me, and I get so depressed that I didn't call my grandma for months. I didn't speak to her. Sometimes I wouldn't post anything online for over a month because I get so sad and just recluse into myself. I get safe in here, in this nasty environment that I've created in my body of gross thoughts and negativity and rolling around in the mud like a pig. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. The only way it's going to change is by me. And so my body needs to be in active movement, right? But when you're making a list of your 3 ingredients, like what's the first word that comes to your mind? Oh, exercise, working out, doing yoga, doing these very specific things. Well, I knew that I wouldn't be able to accomplish doing those daily. That's just not where I'm at in my life right now. I needed to nourish my body, nourish my strength. The dream I have is to run a marathon. I was a sprinter in high school, and everybody runs marathons in Vietnam. It is so hot and humid here, but yet there's a marathon going on all of the time, and people training for marathons all the time. Ace from Ramen Toys was a big inspiration about his trail running and his marathoning, and it's very inspiring, and I would love to do that. But right now I need to get my body back into a state of healthiness and strength. And so those specific acts were overwhelming, and I needed to process but it actually was an attainable ingredient for me to put into my life every day. And I discovered that is active movement instead of exercising or working out. And so, by active movement, I asked John. I spent an hour vacuuming the house the other day, detailing with the hand brush and rolling it around, and it's a big house to clean, and it's a lot up and down. And I was like, does that count as my active movement, as my exercise for the day? He's like, heck yeah, it does. And he's right. And so instead of saying I'm gonna exercise today, I've decided I'm gonna have active movement today. And so I do that by watering our plants or sweeping the porch and cleaning the house and staying active in those ways and doing yoga here and there. And it's been wonderful. So my 3 ingredients are active movement. I'm a very creative person. It's helped me throughout my life. I've always been very creative. Active movement, doing something creative, and to nourish my body. I normally don't eat until it's too late, if I eat at all. The jokes online of the girl shaking, oops, I forgot to eat. I don't want to be like that anymore. My body has been through too much already. And so, when I was younger, I could clean houses all day, barely eat, go all day, go home, just blast through it. But after my cancer treatment, it sucked the youth out of me. I don't know how to express it unless you've gone through it. I would imagine you understand. It's just like a vacuum, just right out of me. So I need to nourish my body, and I need to remember that. And we used to drink a lot of milk back home. And the milk here tastes a little different. And if you ever switch milks, oh, that's not my milk. And so I stopped drinking milk for 10 months. We've been here for 10 months. And so I started drinking a lot of milk. And it's been helping. I wake up, I make sure, I know that my body needs nourishment before it gets hungry. And I'm choosing the right things. Not junk food or candy, I have some snacks and junk food here and there, which I've started to eat again a little bit, which I feel proud of because my body just needs food at this moment, and I don't like junk food or want to live off junk food. But I'm happy I'm reaching the point to where I'm like, oh, that sounds nice. I'll have a little piece of candy or a little Cheeto or something. But I had my first guitar lesson the other day. I woke up, I was very tired. He was gonna be here in 10 minutes. But I know I needed to nourish my body first because I was gonna have an hour lesson. I made myself a cup of coffee, I drank some milk, a couple handful of nuts. I think I might have eaten a yogurt. And you're trying to get all these nutritions in before the problem, before it becomes a problem. And it's been working. And I've been able to do these 3 ingredients to make my day. Full of purpose and take away the negativity. I've turned off most notifications on my phone. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to scroll. I want to enjoy life. Like how we used to enjoy life before this smartphone took everything and we forgot how to be human, in my personal opinion. So, with all of that, I woke up this morning, I stripped beds, I started a load of laundry. We have guests coming. And then American home cleaning style, I will be vacuuming from top to bottom today and working on getting the floors cleaned and doing some laundry and watering the plants. This is my plan. It's a bigger plan than I normally create. You should create things in more bite-sized chunks. Like I'm gonna do the laundry. Just focus on the laundry. Okay, well I'm moving. I'm doing the laundry. So What can I do while I wait for the laundry? Okay, I'm just gonna all sweep. Okay, I'll sweep. Or whatever it may be. So far today, I've started my day in movement. I've nourished my body. I'm going to continue my active movement, and then I'm going to continue with my creativity, which I've also already done today as well, working on a video and filming this. And now I'm going to clean the house. Thank you for listening. You can come hang out with me while I clean the house if you want. I'll see you later.